Hello Superuser! So today we're going to learn how you can record Finale. That way you can make scrolling score videos or even make other Finale tutorials if you want, while capturing both the actual video on the screen as well as the Finale output audio and any input audio like this narration. So by the end of it, you should be able to produce basically the kind of videos I produce, or even have a video that just does this. Okay, I think you get the idea. You've probably heard that piece 100 of times, if not more. But first, just a quick reminder that you can get 80 JW Lewis scripts that I use on a daily basis, and if you want them, I will be sharing them in a Dropbox folder. That way you can get automatic updates. Link is in the description. So there's two different ways you can do this. I don't know how much of this will apply to Windows, but definitely at least parts of these will apply to Windows if you're not on Mac. But there's two different problems here and two different ways we're going to solve them. The first problem is capturing the Finale audio output. That way you can have both the Finale audio output and, if you want a narration like this, a narration output at the same time. The second one we're going to solve is actually recording these outputs, recording both the combined audio output as well as the video output on the screen. So let's get started. So to do the first thing with the audio, you're going to need one of two applications, either Soundflower or iShowU Audio Capture. Both of them work equally fine. The only reason why I use iShowU Audio Capture is I figured it out first on here, and I haven't really wanted to mess up my setup, but either one works, and the process for doing both of them is almost identical. So first, download them and install them. They both have, free download buttons, and they both have instructions that you can view on their websites. You will not need to mess with the audio output in the system settings. So for either of the install instructions, you can stop when you get there, because instead we're going to go to the MIDI audio device setup. This is a plugin that's by default installed on your computer if you're on a Mac. And all you need to do is, while you're here, make sure that the either iShowU Audio Capture or Soundflower, I believe it's like 64AH, I could be wrong with that, but just make sure it shows up, and that means you can use it. Then down here in the lower left hand corner, you're going to click plus, and this is going to create a new multi-output device like this, where all you have to do is just checkbox the different outputs you want. So if all you want is the iShowU Audio Capture, just checkbox that, and this will capture the audio from your computer. If you're also having a microphone like this, you're going to want to also select built-in output. Drift correction, put that on whichever one's not your primary output. So if your primary output is not the built-in output or headphones, checkbox the drift correction on the iShowU Audio Capture. And then master device, this is where you want the master output to go to, and you want it to be built-in audio. I believe that's all the steps for setting up the audio backside before we start recording it, but if for some reason this doesn't make sense, let me know in the comments. It's been like 8 months since I've last set this up, but I think I'm explaining everything. So that's how you solve the output for the audio, but we have yet to start recording it, and we have yet to actually use this multi-output device to record the actual audio output. And for that, you're going to need either one of two softwares. The first one, which works on both Mac and Windows, is OBS Studio. If you've ever seen any sort of streamers on most social media, they are likely using OBS Studio, completely free and open source, and I use this for my live Q&As. Which, by the way, if you don't want to miss out on any of the live Q&As, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell, because that is the only way you'll get notified about them. The other option, if you're on Mac, is use the built-in QuickTime player, which I use for these tutorials. We're first going to look at using OBS Studio because I cannot record QuickTime while using QuickTime, and then we're going to jump back and actually look at how you set it up for the QuickTime player. And if you're trying to decide which one to use, in general QuickTime is simpler and much easier to use, while OBS Studio is a lot more flexible. So once you download and install OBS, you should get it to look something like this. It may look completely blank, and if it does look completely blank, that's totally fine. In fact, I just created a new screen, so it does look completely blank as if you were recording it yourself. So then to set up the audio, come down here to Settings in the lower right-hand corner, and go to Audio. And you're going to, under Mic and Auxiliary Audio, do two things. First, have the iShowU audio capture or the sound flower that you had. And for the other one, the mic/auxiliary audio number 2, just select whatever your other input is. Like in my case, I used the blue snowball to record voiceover that I'm using right now, and so I'm going to select that. So combined, these two should get you the system audio, as well as any speaking you have if you want to do speaking. And if you only want one or the other, you only have to select one or the other, and hit OK. And then down here, you should be able to see 2 audio bars. And so for instance, the second one is the voiceover. You can actually see it with my voice right now. And the first one is the system audio. There isn't any system audio playing right now, so it's going to look completely empty. But if I were to go start playing this in Finale, you should then see it playing right now in the background. And that's how you can tell to make sure that everything's working. Then to capture the screen, just want to add a source using this plus sign, and we want to display capture. You can either create a new display or add an existing one if you already have an existing one. Let's create a new one. Hit OK. You don't have to change anything here and just hit OK. Last thing is, you can click and drag this display around up here if you want, but as you can see, it's a bit oversized, so let's just make it more the actual full screen sized. You may have some cutoff at the top and bottom, but you can just fix this to be whatever your liking is. And now you have this completely set up to record your audio. If you want to change where everything is outputted, you can come back here to settings, and then output, and then under recording, just change where the output is. You can change the output file format and anything else you want here. But if not, you can literally just hit start recording, move over to Finale, and just play it like normal. So that is how you use the OBS to actually record the screen. Now I'm going to quickly jump over and switch to recording using OBS so I can show you how to use QuickTime. Okay, so I've switched over to recording with OBS, and we can actually now walk through what you do if you want to record with QuickTime. So for that, you just have to open up QuickTime, and at first it will look like there are like no dialog boxes, nothing showing up, but luckily that's actually because it's quite simple. We're just going to come up here to File, and then New Screen Recording, and then it will bring up this bar at the bottom. This may look slightly different if you are not on Catalina and you're on an earlier version. You may have like a little window up here, but it will have all the same options. Under Options, all you have to do is select for the microphone the aggregate device we set up. Then just hit record. And then once you do that, you can come back over here to Finale and record the Finale audio. So that's it for today. This is a more abstract video, but hopefully you found it helpful if you want to record Finale audio. And if you did, make sure to hit the like button so I know you want more content just like this. Each week I post new videos about how to use Finale to its fullest, so if you don't want to miss out on any of those, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you get notified every time a new video comes out.